Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and today we're going to do a really quick video. It's about 9 o'clock at night. We're losing light by the second, but I wanted to get my onions harvested and I wanted to bring you along for the journey. Now, I grow onions. This year was a bad year for onions for me, and I want to go over the reasons why I think that happened. But I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about my other alliums, what has went right, what went wrong, what I'm going to do differently, and how I store my alliums. Now, the alliums that I'm talking about are the garlic, shallots, and onions. So let's quickly look at my onions, see what's wrong with them, and then talk a little bit about what I could do better. So this is my onion bed. It's at the top of my hill. And I had red onions in this empty spot right here. We have one little one left there. I think these are candy onions, and these are yellow Spanish. Now, before we go any further, I wanted to talk to you about what happened with my onions this year. This year, I wanted to start my onions by seed, but I planted them in February, and then I had some unfortunate family tragedy that happened, and I did not go back into my grow room for another month to 2 months. And consequently, all my onions died. Well, I wasn't that worried because I knew you could go to the nursery, local nursery, pick up starts and plant those. So I picked up the little tiny 6-pack early in the season. This was probably April or so. And so the onion sets were very, very small. So I planted those out, and then we had a freeze, and it looked like all of them died. So I went back to the same nursery, and they had those onion sets, that not the little sets that you have in the bags, but the sets where you have the greens all wrapped in elastic, and they're basically just onions that they pulled up. So I went and planted those over the top of the other ones, and then all of them kind of came back in. Now, the other thing that happened is, if you can look behind me, let me show you here. I usually allow my dill to go to seed, and then I harvest the seed for pickles. Now, this all went to seed on the west side of my bed, which I think brought too much shade. So the consequence of shade, weather, and then I think there was a little bit of a lack of water and definitely a lack of fertilizing this year, has led to my onions not being as large as I'd like. Now, this is a decent sized onion for the Spanish yellow, but it's only about half the size of what they usually are. So let's get harvesting and see what we can get out of this bed. Now, we're only going to harvest the yellow, and you can tell that the yellow are ready to harvest, even if they're tiny, like this one, because all of the necks have flopped over. When the foliage flops over, it's time to harvest. The Spanish whites have not quite all flopped over yet. So here's my harvest of Spanish yellows. We've pretty much completely lost all the light. So let's take you inside and show you how I'm going to cure them, and then I'll show you how I store my alliums. So don't judge the mess. This is my garage. This is where I dry all of my alliums. I'm going to show you a picture of what my shallots looked like while they were drying and curing, and what my garlic looked like. Now, I put these on these wire racks, and what I'm waiting for, now the little ones I'll probably just come and use because of curing the little ones, and curing the ones that have already come off the leaves is not really all that helpful. You need to leave the leaves on them, and you need to leave the roots on them until the neck, this area, is completely dry, and you can pretty much just pull the leaves off really easily. So it needs to be completely dry, and then they can last for a very long time. And then the garlic and shallots are exactly the same way. Let me go show you where I'm storing my shallots and my garlic. Now it's quite dark, and you can hear some water running, but this is where I store my shallots. This bag is full of shallots. This is one variety, and this is another. And I'm going to put my onions actually in these crates. I put the shallots in the bags because they're smaller, and it's just going to be easier to store them that way, and we can hang them on these little pegs. Now I have all of these crates. This is under my stairs. This is where I put my food storage. But these crates are where I put my squash and my onions. It's actually a lot cooler down here, and it does stay cooler even under the stairs, and it stays dark, so this is a good area to store things like that. Now these right here are all of the garlic and the shallots that I'm going to replant this fall. So I chose the biggest and the best, and several of each different variety. This is a wild garlic. I'll put the name on this screen. This was a gift from a friend, and they turned out really nice. It's a hardneck garlic, extremely spicy when raw, but this really pleasant flavor when cooked. This is my regular soft-necked grocery store garlic that I've grown for the entire 15 years I've lived in Utah. The shallots, we have several different varieties. So I think this right here is French gray. I'm going to put the name on the screen because I get all of these really mixed up. But I think this is French gray, Dutch red. They've got a different shaped bulb and a different flavor. And then a variety that I'm not sure what it is. This was a gift from a friend. And then I think this is also a different variety. My friend gifted me two different varieties, and this is just another one. It's kind of a different shape. And this is in my kitchen. This is where I store the garlic that I use. So this is what my harvest looked like this year. Got a lot of good-sized heads. They're very well cured. It's really dried down nicely. And then this is just my bowl of really small garlic. I like to use the small garlic first. I don't want it to go bad, and it's a pain to peel, so I just like to use it up as fast as I can. Most of this will probably be used in canning, making pickles, salsa, whatever I need garlic for. And this right here is my seed garlic. You can actually find these on the garlic heads. I've got actually small garlic right here that I'm using up. This is a second year of a seed garlic, and let me show you a clip from last year's video that will explain what these are and show you how I prepare my garlic for storage. One of the things that you need to watch for is this area right here. You need to make sure that there is no moisture at all in the neck area. And the reason you do that is you want this to completely seal off and not allow any moisture or bacteria into the bulb. And if you're really careful and make sure everything is completely dry and not cracked, your garlic will last for over a year. Now there's one other thing I wanted to show you that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be looking for heads, bulbs like this, that have these little bulbules at the top, just above the bulb. These right here, they're called bulbules. You can see there's a couple of them right here. But you can actually plant these and have garlic in 2 years. The first year that you plant them, I'll show you what they look like. They come out like this. This may be starting to split, but in actuality, if I were to open this up, it would just be one large clove of garlic. So these turn into this, which turns into this. So let's start with this bulb first. The first thing that I'm going to do is cut off the roots. I'm going to brush off some of the dirt. And then I'm just going to cut the leaves off. So sorry for the lighting in here. It's dark, it's nighttime, it's about almost 10 o'clock at night, and I've had a hard time getting this video finished because I just simply ran out of time today. But I hope this video has been helpful for you because I really love onions and garlic. I will link a video up above that shows more about garlic harvests. Maybe I'll link some more about how I plant them, because we're getting to the time where I need to start thinking about planting my garlic and shallots. And the reason I need to start thinking about it now is I've got to leave open space in the garden. I love to do fall gardens and I love to do winter gardens, but I do need some beds open for my garlic and my shallots. I'll plant those near the end of October, the beginning of November, just depending on when I have time. Now, I'd love to hear how your allium, your garlic, your shallots, your onion harvests have gone. If you have any tips or tricks, especially for onions, to make them better and bigger. I seem to have been struggling the last couple of years to get them up to a good size. I don't know if it's the spacing, the watering, fertilizing. It could be fertilizing. I don't think I paid attention to fertilizing this year. But anyway, I would love to hear any of your suggestions. And if this video has been helpful for you, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and go have a wonderful garden adventure.